don't worry, this is not much more than one sentence. Thank you so much, Jerry and Kel. That was a beautiful introduction. And if I can just get through my first comments without crying, I'll be able to get to the rest. It is almost impossible to say how much this evening means to me. Whoop, here it comes. I have had the great good fortune to be honored in many ways at the University of Memphis, whose halls I happily walked for 47 wonderful years. I've also had the good fortune to be recognized both overseas and in the States as a playwright, a director, and a theater educator. But nothing is quite so special as to be honored in your own hometown. That's my thing. I'm a Memphian, and it means so much to me. And especially to be honored by a community that I am so proud to be a part of. I must say that as I came in tonight and as I look over this audience, it can't help but bring to mind one of my favorite projects I used to assign in one of my classes. Many of you will remember the dream scene, right? Students kept a dream journal and were charged with staging one of their dreams at the end of the semester, discovering a way to share the essence of their dream, to allow others to enter it with them. In preparation, we would explore the nature of dreams. Space and time were not as they are in our waking lives. A place could change in a second for no apparent reason. Time was not linear, and so many different layers of experience in my life could be compressed into one night's dream. Standing here this night, I feel as if I am living in one of those dream scenes. I see so many faces in this auditorium from so many different layers and so many different times of my life. And there's something magical that you're all present here tonight in the same place and at the same time. And yet, each of you brings up a living and indelible memory for me from the past. We have shared experiences together from the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, and even the first decade of the 21st century. There is something wonderful about my past and my present being present all at once and at this same time. And perhaps this fascination with the past and the present has to do with my having turned 70 this past December. A good thing. And for some reason, this whole year, I just remained fascinated and intrigued by following all the threads of my life and beginning to discover how those threads are connected in some way, and they start revealing patterns I hadn't seen before and suggest meaning that I hadn't thought of. Tonight, though, this evening for me is not only about my inward journey of remembering, which I must say is a great pleasure, but I feel strongly that as we all are gathered here together this evening, our separate journeys are all at a meeting point this evening, a confluence. This is an evening when the threads of all of our lives begin to come closer together to reveal connections with one another. Something there is that brings us together this evening, and for this occasion of the Ostranders each and every year. And that something is our passionate love for our art form, the theater. I can think of no other art form that reveals so profoundly and so immediately our interdependence. Ours is not an art form that can be experienced solo. In everything that we do in the theater, whether creating new work, rehearsing, performing, directing, designing, we are dependent on one another to realize our vision. We discover in this work that we do something at the very heart of the human condition, our interbeing with one another. I think that is why our connections are so unique and so long-lasting in the theater. We share so much of ourselves that is intimate, our creativity, our imagination, our immediacy, our authenticity, giving and receiving, listening and responding. These are a necessity of our work, both with one another and with our interaction with our audiences. Last night, I suddenly felt compelled to wake up and look for a dictionary definition of a word we value in theater: ensemble. This was my favorite. Ensemble. All the parts of a thing taken together, so that each part is considered only in relation to the whole. It has been a joy to be a part of the whole in our community, to be a part of so many of your lives, as you have been a very special part of mine. Thank you for this evening, for this honor of being the recipient of this year's Ugartgarian Lifetime Achievement Award. I wish you another year in the theater as outstanding and memorable as this past one was. Many blessings, much love to you. Thank you so much.